What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I'll be doing a technical analysis breakdown from Microsoft with the ticker symbol MSFT. This was a viewer's request, and thank you for your donation. Remember that if you want a chart analysis guaranteed to be done, please read the description below. Before we begin, please take a second to give the video a like and subscribe for more chart analysis. I appreciate all those who have already subscribed and liked my videos. Just a reminder that this video is for entertainment purposes only and does not constitute any financial advice. We will start out the technical analysis by going over what I see on the daily chart and potential price targets. Then we'll take a quick look on the weekly chart to wrap it all up. So I'm going to show you guys how I would be marking this chart up if I was trading it. So it looks like just Microsoft has been an uptrend since early to mid of 2020. It's a very strong uptrend, making higher highs, higher lows. Most of the price bars are above the EMA. So I'm going to go ahead and start out by looking at the most recent price action. Show you guys that there was this uptrend channel in play. As you can see here, it's a two-tier channel. Let me zoom in a little bit closer. All these price bars fit inside of it, and every time we come up to the lower side, we get a bounce. So I believe this channel to be valid. Now recently we did get a breakout side because price action was too weak to reach the upper side of this channel. We got the breakout side. Prices are now finding some type of support at this 329 level. Most likely it won't hold. I believe Microsoft will continue to sell off just like every other stock in the market because the market is in a slight correction right now. So I don't think this one is going to be any different. So I do expect prices to break this support level. Where can it go? It could probably go back to filling this gap right here that the price made, and possibly even to test this breakout at this low 300 level, so possibly the 304 303 level. Let me show you guys a potential measured move that could play out. Looks like this is the first leg down for Microsoft, and this potentially could be the second leg right here, and it ends up right at the 318 level. So this is definitely a target that prices look like it could reach. So the way I see Microsoft playing out in the future is a two-legged correction down. This is the first leg up, this is the correction, and then I see the second leg forming soon and possibly at the 318 level, maybe even to the 311 level to fill in the gap. I don't think it can come back all the way to this breakout. It's a possibility because it looks like it hasn't been tested yet, but I don't think it wants to. We just have to wait and see. But as of right now, I'd still expect this pullback to continue further down, possibly to the 318 level, and maybe even lower to the 310 level. And then from there, I still expect a retest of these previous highs, just because it looks like this is the first break outside of this channel. So we could go a little bit sideways for a couple of days or a week, or we could just start reversing from there once we reach the measured move. I bet we will get a leg up, a correction, and then the second leg up to retest these highs and even make a new one. So that's this pattern that I see playing out for Microsoft. We just gotta wait and see if that will happen. But as of right now, I'm slightly bearish for Microsoft, but in the long term, I'm bullish, just because if I zoom out more on this chart, you can see that Microsoft has been in an uptrend pretty much forever, since its inception on the market. So I would not be trying to pick a top even over here. I think we'll just get a slight correction. I don't think this is the top of the market. I think we will still continue much higher in the future. But there's a correction playing out, just like all the times it had previously done. As you can see here, this is the first correction, second correction, third correction. Now this one's gonna be no different. That's just part of a healthy uptrend. Let me zoom out a little bit more on the chart. If I were to show you guys the major pattern, I'll possibly connect it from this swing low, and I'll drag it up to right here. Let me change the color. Let's go ahead and make this one yellow. Let me zoom in a little bit more just to make sure I properly drew it. So it looks like this is the channel in play for Microsoft, the major uptrend that prices are still respecting and trending inside of. As you can see here, every time we come up to the lower side, we get a bounce. The midline is acting as both support and resistance, is dividing the price action. And if you just look closely, you can see that prices are started to sell off right when we hit the upper side of the channel, which is what we expect to happen. And then from there, maybe in the future, we could come back all the way down to the lower side of the channel. I don't think we will this time. Maybe, like I said, prices just want to do the two-legged correction to the midline and fill in this gap and then make that new high. And once we get the second test of this upper side of the channel and that new high is in place, then I expect the larger pullback to happen. But I don't think we're going to see that larger pullback as of right now. But in the future, we definitely will see it. A much bigger one, probably back all the way down to this yellow side of the channel. Because every time we come up to the higher side, we go to the lower side. And this one will be no different. Either we're going to get two legs back down, or it's just going to be a slow sideways grind until the channel meets it up in the future. Something like that. But that's pretty much my analysis on the daily chart. Just sum it all up. I expect this pullback to continue for Microsoft and pretty much all other stocks on the market. It looks like it will probably make two legs back down to the 317 level and maybe even fill in this gap completely at the 311 level. And then from there, I still expect prices to continue much higher, to come back and make a new high. And then from there, we just gotta wait and see how prices want to react from this level that it might potentially reach. But I showed you guys a couple patterns that could play out. Let me zoom out a little bit more. Show you guys the overall pattern and the price chart. So it looks like if I were to do a measured move, it's hard to see. Let me delete all the drawings so you guys already know my analysis on the daily chart. If I were to do a measured move, I could potentially see this one right here, but it looks like it already has been played out and prices have continued much higher. So that means you don't want to be picking a top, and the trend is much stronger than everyone thinks. As you can see, the measure move stopped pretty much right here, and that's when we saw a slight pullback in the market, but it trended much higher. So it looks like they probably want to go somewhere else. It's hard to see what next leg. I do see that potentially this leg could be the one that they want to hit again as a second move. So that looks like one complete leg up. If I were to do a line chart, you'll probably see it more clearer. See, you can see there's one straight line up and then the correction, and then looks like we're in the formation of the second line or the second leg. So let me go back to the candlestick chart, and I'm going to put it right at the bottom of that correction. Actually, this measure move's already been hit too. So you can see it's pretty much right at the top, and that's why we're seeing the pullback. But I doubt that'll be the top of the market. I think we're just pulling back to get another two-legged correction to continue much higher. Let me zoom out a little bit more. Yep. So that's pretty much everything I see on the daily chart. Let's go and wrap this up on the weekly chart. So as I showed you on the daily chart, I didn't really see any measured moves that prices could be hitting next. But that doesn't mean we will just start having a downtrend from now on. Prices definitely look very bullish. As you can see here, numerous times the price has not gotten below the EMA since March of 2020. So it's a strong, very strong uptrend. Every time we come back to the EMA, we find support, and every time we get far away from it, you can see we pull back to it. So this is no different. Since we're far away from the EMA, I do expect a pullback to it, and that will probably take us right to the 310 level. And then from there, most likely we will get that bounce because it's a very strong uptrend, and it'll probably continue higher in the future. But that's too early to call. We could break it maybe and find resistance and continue lower, but as of right now, the trend is the friend until it ends, and it looks like it's not ending anytime soon. So I'm going to stick with my bullish thesis. If I was trading this, I would just wait for a pullback and get ready to get in the next move. Every time someone tries to pick a top in this market, they get stopped out. As you can see here, someone took a short sell right here. They made a little bit of profit, but then the market pushed up and stopped them out. Same thing right here. They took a short position right here, these red bars. The market pulled back, but then they got stopped out with this huge move. So all the stop losses were hit. Same thing right here. So every time we break the new high, we shoot past it by a good amount. Every time we break the new high, we pass it by a good amount. So it's a very strong uptrend, and in the future, this one probably no different as of right now. Just gotta wait till more price action develops, but that's pretty much my analysis for Microsoft. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my video. Make sure to check out the rest of the channel since you might be surprised with what you can learn. Leave a comment down below on where you think prices are headed. Also share the video if you want your friends to learn about the markets. Lastly, I appreciate any feedback to help improve the channel since I want to deliver good content to you guys. See you next time and bye.